Oh man, it caught me slipping. I rolled up, man, minding my own business, man. Y'all done snuck up on me, man. How y'all doing? It's the incomparable Diesel Greasel, man. You tuned in to know what I was saying, man. Um, got a special guest today, man. It's a young brother, man, that I think I've been Facebook friends with for like the past year. Um, um, I forget how we met. It was a mutual friend, but he said something I didn't necessarily agree with. I did my normal agitator thing. He met me where I was. Let me stop there. He wasn't rude about it. I probably was rude to him. He wasn't rude back, but he did let me know how he felt. I think I ended up hopping in his inbox, man, because I felt like I was missing something. I felt like he was a real smart dude. I felt like it was no reason for us to not be seeing eye to eye. Had a couple real quick conversations in the inbox, and it's been an ongoing thing for the past year, man. I really don't know a lot about the brother, but I like his perspective on a lot of things, and I think it's a valid perspective that needs to be shared. So I'm gonna bring him on. His name is Jamal, and I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and we're gonna get the show started, man. Let's see. Let me see how I bring on my guest. I think it's like this. Bam, bam. What's up? What's up, Jamal?
Hey, what's going on? The incomparable Diesel Greasel.
Man, the one and only, bro. I appreciate you taking some time out for me. I'm random as hell. I hop on social media like, who want to be on the podcast? And you brave because you like, I'm down. You don't even know what I want to talk about. No, none of that. He like, I'm down. I appreciate it.
I just know you're gonna bring some smoke, some heat. You're gonna get people talking, and I think that's one of the most important things. Like, somebody being able to critically think. I feel like you're somebody who thinks for themselves. And we need more of that. So many people are just going along with the narrative of what's taught or what they see on social media. And I see you challenge that all the time. So like I'm always following your posts and everything. So I'm excited to be here. I'm honored.
Man, I appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me, man, because a lot of people misconstrue what I do. They think I like to get on social media and I just like to be like devil's advocate or argue with people or agitate them. But in all honesty, I like to just spur independent thought. It's not even about if they agree with me. It's great if they do, but I don't want to be around a bunch of people who just agree with everything I say in any way. But at the end of the day, man, I like to just challenge how people feel, because if they can explain it to me, then I know it's real and it gives me a better chance to see things through their eyes. Because without alternate perspective, bro, we're not seeing much. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like if I can't trust you enough to see through your eyes, then I have a very limited experience here on Earth. And so steel sharpens steel, right?
Oh, all day, every day. And I'm the same way, man. I get on social media and I got cousins who will text me because their friends are like, "Hey, your cousin, he's at it again," and I get some of that same resistance. I don't care if you agree with me or not. I just want you to think. That's it. Turn your brain on.
Man, hey, I'm sure you hear this all the time, but who do people tell you that you look like?
I've gotten Red from Friday a couple times, but I don't know. I don't know why.
I can see that. I can see that. Tucking in the chain. I can see that.
My grandma gave me that, man.
Look like Kyrie Irving, bro. Have you ever heard of Kyrie Irving?
I have heard Kyrie, and I'm also a flat earther, so like.
Hey, I see. First off, man, I believe it's only certain types of people, man. I believe God only made so many different types of molds. Then He start mixing and matching on some creative player type shit. And so when I see someone who look like Kyrie, thinks abstract like Kyrie, I'm like, bro, this dude come from the Kyrie mold. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why I fucked with you, because I was like, okay, he don't look stupid. He don't look stupid, you know what I'm saying? And he don't look stupid, like, for real, because, hey, I done seen some people, you look in their eyes and they just ain't got it. You're like, okay, I'm not about to argue with this person, man, because they might be a chromosome away from Down syndrome. I'm not even going to go there,
Oh, yeah.
Then you meet other people, and I'm like, okay, man, this dude appears to be a thinker, man, a thinker. And so I believe, man, one of the first things that we talked about, because it was a similar vibe. We talk about similar content. We both talk about holding women accountable. You know what I'm saying? We both do that. You do a good job of talking about holding people accountable. Like you do focus on men and women. I tend to focus more on women because men don't really engage. When you say something, what men need to do, men keep scrolling.
Man, and I tell women that all the time. They'll ask me, why don't you get on the men? And I'll tell them, men don't want to hear what I have to say in regards to women if they still have access to women. It don't matter what I say, as long as he can still get in your pants, he gonna do what he want to do. It's up to you to change the narrative, because if you change the narrative, men will follow.
Bruh, and the crazy thing is that for years I've always said that I hold women to a higher standard than men because I know how much men value pussy, right? I know how much men value pussy. Like, women always say something that's real cliche, and they say that men are dogs, right? You hear that a lot. And so if you take that as surface value, dogs are probably the most loyal animal on the planet. You can mistreat a dog will sit there by your side. A dog always comes home, but more importantly, if a dog wants something, the dog is not going to stop until it gets it. Like, if you take the dog's bone and put it on the other side of that fence, if the dog wants that bone, he's going to either go under the fence, he's going to go through the fence, or go over the fence.
He's going to find a way.
But he's not going to stay on the other side of the fence under no circumstances. His whole existence from that point is, how do I get to the other side of that fence?
A fairly simple concept.
and that's how men are when it comes to women. You know what I'm saying? If a man wants that woman, it's nothing he isn't going to do to get that woman. But however far she raises the bar, he gonna jump it. If a woman says, in order to get this pussy, you gotta have a job, a man gonna get a job. If she says, in order to get this, you gotta have your own home, a stable living environment, a man's gonna go get that stable living environment. If she says you got to have a minimum credit score so I know you're responsible, a man's going to go and get those things. The issue is that men do a lot of those things and they get that woman and then they realize that woman isn't who they thought she was, or she's not willing to match his energy in certain aspects of life. Like, I've done what you require of me. Am I allowed to have some requirements now?
Whoo, man, you start talking about your requirements and
that's when you get caught sassy, right?
Man, everything turns to shit at that point. Like, just, oh my God, there's the arguments, the tones. There's no more nurturing vibe about her. It just becomes, you're just a completely different person. I don't understand that, because I have no problem meeting whatever it is that you want me to meet. Whatever it is you want me to go to the moon, I'll find a way to get there. But when I start talking about what it is that I may want or how I feel, now it's a problem. I very much dislike how women want to ask men to love them unconditionally, but then want to love us with conditions. I very much, and back to your point of, I heard this on another podcast, and it makes me giggle every time I say it. Brother said, my penis has taken me places I wouldn't go with a loaded gun.
Wow. Damn.
Run
that back for me.
My penis has taken me places that I wouldn't go with a loaded gun.
Damn, boy.
You want to know how important getting laid is to most men? That is, you cannot frame it better than that.
Damn, man. I want to argue with that, and I can't. I want to argue with that because the thing is, at the end of the day, I done been into some clubs. This is just on some surface level. I done been into a club where the gun ain't allowed to come in. And I'm like, damn, I can't bring my gun into the club. But why am I trying to get into that club?
There's women in there.
Because there's women in there. There's women in there, bro. Like, now, when you say the type of stuff you say about women, the first thing that they're going to say is, you got mommy issues. Right. Have you ever heard that a woman say that not a woman that actually knows you, a woman that you've expressed your opinion to about something that she didn't like, and she said that you must have issues with women or mommy issues because you didn't share her opinion?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty
of times.
Now, do you have a good relationship with your mother?
I have a very decent relationship with my mother, but like me and my mother, she lived in for the majority of my life from probably fourth grade till probably I was 21. She lived in Memphis, and I lived in a small town in Missouri called Fayette with my dad. So,
Okay.
but I wouldn't say that I have mommy issues or anything like that because I have a very unique experience. I was raised in a village, so
Okay.
I got love from women and men.
And you have a good relationship with your grandma. So
Oh yeah.
I would think that I would think even if you did have some sort of issues with your mom, if you have a good relationship with your grandma, that would trump that. That would mean that you don't have an issue having a healthy relationship with a maternal figure. It's just that you have a stronger one with your grandma than you do with your mom.
Yeah, man, my grandma, I sit and I talk, even the stuff that I say on Facebook, I'll talk to my grandma about it. And my grandma, she sides with me.
Okay. Okay. So all right. So I'm gonna just, I'll be 43 in a couple of weeks. Been married and divorced twice, 5 kids, 4 by my ex-wife, 1 out of wedlock. All right.
Mhm.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
All right. Have you ever been married?
No,
Do you have any children?
no.
Wow. Are you gay? Let me ask that. I'm just asking. It's 2023. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a respectable question with the answers that I gave you. Nah, I'm not gay. I love women like Tupac loved women. I absolutely adore women. I like hanging out with women more than I do men because you just have better conversations with women than you do. Like you said, men don't engage. Like when you hang around men, they want to talk about women, sports, cars, clothes, bread. I mean, what's that Vin Ring said? Guns and
Guns and
butter.
butter. Guns and butter.
They want to talk about the butter.
So
I don't want to talk about the butter all the time.
how, bro? How you make it to 36? Okay, man. Actually, I'm curious now. I'm curious. How old were you when you lost your virginity?
Man, that is a difficult question to answer, but like I actually lost my virginity at 16.
Okay, okay. I lost mine 14, about to be 15, I think. Okay, so roughly around the same age. Okay. Um, how you managed to make it this long without becoming a father? I assume choice is a big part of that. And so how bruh, I'm just baffled, bro. You just got that much discipline? Is it you just that selective?
So I did have one scare when I was 16 to the girl that I lost my virginity to because as you know, when you ain't got that rubber on, it feel completely different.
Big difference. Big difference.
So there was a scare there, but I'm somebody that's always listened to my elders and things of that nature. And my grandma Gussie, she always told me, she said, "Don't bring no babies around here." And like to me, grandma was law. Like don't make her angry. So that was one of the things. And then as I got older, I realized that the way that I'm probably going to parent and the way that most women parent is completely different.
Okay.
And the way that I was raised, like I'm not somebody who I don't want to spend a bunch of money on clothes and toys and things of that nature. That wasn't my upbringing. My upbringing was you get hand me downs and we'll go get you some stuff, but it ain't gonna be the nicest stuff. I might got 2-3 outfits for the first week of school, and we getting that from J.C. Penney's. The first time I actually got a pair of Jordans, they was on the clearance rack for $30. And I had the money actually to buy the $100 Jordans. But I asked my dad, like, Dad, can I get some Jordans? He said, oh yeah, you can get some Jordans, but you're gonna have to work for it. And by the time I had the money, I'd saved up the money. I didn't want to spend all the money on the one pair of Jordans. So, he taught me a valuable lesson there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, I know that there's that. And then to me, I think it's very important for a child to have both parents. So if this isn't long term, if we not forever, I really don't see myself doing that, and I can't see myself putting myself in a situation where, you know, things just didn't work out. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the whole situation all the way around. Is she gonna listen to my direction? Are we gonna be able to save money? You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna be able to live the life that we want? And a lot of times women will get in the way of that. You know, instead of saving money, you want to get your hair and your nails done and you want to go on vacation. I'm cool.
Yeah, no, my daughters, they keep calling me. I'm gonna put my phone on do not disturb. They call them in the group chat. But no, I'm tracking, man. It takes an extreme amount of discipline, man. So first off, I understand the importance of having a grandmother, to instill those values in you. Just to say, hey, man, don't do it. Just to not want to disappoint her. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing like, hey, as good as pussy was feeling, there still was that voice in the back of your head not to do it because you had that much love and respect for her that you didn't want to disappoint her.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, when it would have been easy to do because people do it every single day. It's human nature.
Facts.
What's the longest relationship that you've been
in? Probably 3 years.
Okay. And did she have any children already, or she didn't have any children?
That was one of my first girlfriends.
Okay.
I think like the girl that took my virginity, we was together for like 3 years in high school. And she didn't have any. We had one scare, but she didn't have any kids. And then after that, I've only had like 5 girlfriends in my life. So, and most of them have all been like at least 1 year relationships at very minimum.
Okay. Have you been engaged?
No.
Okay.
I've had a couple of women say like, hey, if we get to this age and I'm single, you're single, we should get married and have a baby. I've also had multiple women ask me if they could have my baby because they know that their feeling is that I would be a good dad. And like, actually there was a woman that I dated. She was older than me. She was like, let's see, she's 14 years older than me. So right now she'd be like 50. I almost got into a serious relationship with her, and my aunt, who she's like one of my moms, she wasn't going for it. She's like, no,
no, hell no.
You need to have kids. You need to be a dad. And I was like, well, I don't really know if I want to do that at this point. And she was like, if you bring her to the family function, I will be mean to her. I will not talk to her. And like that really kind of ruined that whole scenario. And now me and that person, we ain't even really cool anymore, which is crazy because that's like one of the first people that I actually like was really just as an adult, as aside from the puppy love stuff, as an adult, that was like one of the first people that I kind of actually just got to open up to and just say whatever, and they accepted it, and I got the same in return. So like, I always thank her for that, but like, yeah, it just didn't work out.
And so, are you actively dating now, or you just like gave up? Like,
I would like to date, but it's so difficult because I'm so honest that women just don't. I tell women this all the time. You don't want men to actually be honest. And what I mean by honest is I personally don't believe that most men, and I say most, are monogamous by nature.
Okay.
That's why a lot of us cheat. You can tell me whatever you want to, but actually let's look at what men are doing. Okay. And the fact that I'm honest about that, it throws women off.
Now, I'm honest about what? Meaning that you don't believe you can be monogamous, or you don't want to be monogamous, or you just don't see the benefit in monogamy?
I can be monogamous. I've chosen to be monogamous multiple times, and it hasn't necessarily worked out for me because I'm not somebody that I don't just desert people. Like if I actually get involved with somebody, we have to have a relationship on some sort of level. We got to be friends. We gotta establish a rapport. And when I get into a relationship, I don't just desert those people. Like, if you need me, if you need to have a conversation, you want my opinion on something, I'm there. And that bothers a lot of women because they feel as though they can't trust the other woman. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you don't have to trust her. You have to trust me. I'm the one that's in the relationship with you. And if I'm choosing to be here with you, that should be all you need. But I guess a lot of women need reassurance these days. And
a lot of women just know that they can't trust women because they know how women are. I mean, it's bad, man. A lot of times, man, if a woman finds a good man and she goes to her matriarchal circle and says, "Hey, I found a good man," the advice that they're going to give her is keep him away from your friends and keep him away from other women. That's the advice that they're going to offer, which tells me that they understand the vindictive nature that some women have.
I get that, but I'm me. If I chose you and I'm gonna be in a relationship with you, other women don't exist to me as far as in the sexual nature, the cheating nature. If I'm unhappy with the relationship, I will leave that relationship and then go do whatever it is that I want to do.
Yeah. I dig it. I mean, I'm the same way. I leave. I mean, I'm not about to be sneaking and doing all this extracurricular shit because I don't got the time and energy to live a double life.
Not only that, I'm not giving no woman the ammo to say, "Oh, he did that." I'm not gonna do that. You don't get that from me. Like, I'm gonna be exactly who I said I'm gonna be, and I'm gonna measure up over time, and that's what people have seen. Like, I've had like one of my girlfriends and let's say 2 ex-girlfriends ago. Man, it's back when the iPhone had the little fingerprint on the thing, the home button. I put her fingerprint on my home button, bro.
Yeah. She
checking my phone every day. When I go to the shower, she in. I didn't care. I didn't have nothing to hide.
There was nothing in there.
No, but then it'll turn. It turns into, oh, you delete messages before you come home.
Bro, I live that shit. I was married to a narcissist, man. My ex-wife, bro. I gave her access to my phone. She would go through it all the time. Never was nothing. I didn't get married to hide, live a double life. But she wasn't humble enough to admit she was wrong. It was like, you're just that good. You're just that good. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm like, damn. Like, I mean, part of my ego is flattered that you think I'm this evil mastermind that can always outwit you, but you think I'm gonna just waste my superpowers on just trying to get the other pussy and keeping you in the dark when I could just leave and do something different if I was unhappy.
Yeah, I could be single and do that. And I did. I lived that life. I was single, but also, like, and my grandma, the grandma that told me not to bring no babies home, she gave me like the greatest piece of game I ever got, period. I was 16 years old. I had a girlfriend. My grandma was like, I wanted her to meet my girlfriend. I was like, Grandma, I want you to meet my girlfriend. I'm not trying to hear it. She was like, I'm not trying to hear that shit. She said, you too young to be in a relationship. You don't know what it means. And what she told me was, she said, you don't need a girlfriend. You need 2 or 3 women. But be honest with them. And that's what I did. And and it worked. Like, not that I was trying to be deceitful or anything like that. I just wanted to live my life a certain way. And I also gave women the opportunity to make their own decision on whether or not you want to be involved with me. And that's where I left it. Yeah. But then when I get into a relationship, you think there's a whole other arbitrage of things going on. There's nothing going on. It's just, somebody might text my phone and say, hey, how you doing? Or can I call you? Can I get your opinion on this? Man, I would answer that phone and I would have that conversation right in front of my girl because I don't have anything to hide. Like, I'm that thorough. Yeah. And it's hard for women to believe because I think that a lot of women have given that benefit of the doubt to some men in their past. And so when it comes up to someone actually being that, they just think, oh, I've seen this before. Mm-hmm. When in actuality, you haven't seen it. You've seen an imposter.
So, I mean, I remember it was a point in time that you were celibate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you still celibate?
Not exactly.
So you fell off the wagon. Okay,
I did. I made it
okay.
to about 120 days of semen retention. So that was retention. That wasn't. So you're not watching no type of porn. You're not engaging in sex. Nothing. And yeah, it was actually really great. Uh, but it's tough, man. That is tough. That is discipline on a whole nother level. And most men will never even attempt anything like that. But I wanted to know what it felt like. I wanted to know, like, is there something to this? And there really is something to it. But man, I love women.
Yeah, I feel you 100%, man. I mean, that's impressive. That's impressive. 120 days. That's impressive, man. It's like nature always wins. The only way to really to abstain is you can't put yourself in them situations because eventually you gonna lose. It's like every aspect of life is designed for you to find a woman attractive and for shit to happen.
Man. And eventually, yeah, I did lose.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that, like, I feel like a lot of men, you chasing that first one, right? That feeling of, like, when you first realize, like, what it was to climax. If any man, like, if you've never abstained, and anybody watching this or takes a gander at this, I challenge you to wait 2 weeks. Just don't do anything for just 2 weeks. Your testosterone will go up, your energy will go up, and then when you actually do decide to, have that release, it's gonna feel absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Okay. I dig it. I dig it. I mean, it's a lot of benefits to like just not putting your energy into people literally and physically.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, a lot of I catch a lot of flack, man, because I get on people for having casual sex, you know. And that's like shit. It's not that I just think I'm better than people, or I'm like, oh, you a hoe, you doing this and that. I just personally don't have casual sex, and I don't want those energy exchanges. For the same reason why I don't really leave my house and go do a lot of different things. I don't want those energy exchanges. And when you're dealing with different people, you're gonna be taking on different energies. You know what I'm saying? And when you're dealing with multiple people, it's a recipe for disaster. Just to be dealing with all that different type of energy, man. But
It
it
is,
works for some
man.
people.
And I think a lot of people just they don't realize it. You get so caught up in your mind and thinking with the little head instead of the big head when it comes to women. But I feel like all men know when you've walked into a spot and you can feel when the energy as far as other men is concerned, you can feel like, oh, okay, these cats want to fight.
Mm-hmm.
These cats might shoot something up. I don't need to be in here. You can feel that, but you can't really feel it with women because you're so blinded by the lust.
That's true. That's true. I think what you're saying is that we can recognize a threat when it's male oriented. Like we're geared for that. But the easiest way to fool us is through a woman. Because I guess like it turns off our other senses. It's hard for me to be into you and aroused if I'm feeling threatened. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard because you're not gonna have my focus. The only way that I can be turned on by you is if you have my focus. You know what I'm saying? And I can't give you my focus if I'm worried about what's going on around me. So I think that's a valid point, man.
So, like, let me ask you, what do you think the benefits are to you as not wanting to be around that energy?
I think the benefits is it allows me to control what I can control, to make sure that I'm not influenced by external factors more so than I have to be. We live in a 3D world, right? Meaning that there's other objects that I'm forced to interact with, other energies. And so I try to control those interactions so I can control me. Because I don't have a lot of patience or a lot of tolerance for people. And so, I can't live a life where I don't deal with people, but I can be selective of the people that I deal with, who are less likely to trigger me in ways that I don't necessarily need to be triggered.
Yeah, it seems like you'd much rather be around a vibe that is fun and you're having a good time and just enjoying yourself rather than being on your toes.
Because man, I'm not a fighter. I'm a killer. So I'd rather not engage. I'd rather not engage. I'd rather go my whole life not killing a person.
See, go ahead.
Than be a fighter who goes my whole life winning fights. I'd rather avoid the fight, so I don't want to fight you. You know what I'm saying? Because when I do start the fight, I'm not gonna know when it's over.
That's the problem I have. I know I'm not going like. I don't think I could ever see myself killing somebody because I'm aware that that's somebody's child. I'm aware that that's somebody's cousin, maybe somebody's father. But I am aware of the resentment that comes with an ass whooping that you give somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So I choose not to engage because I know that if I whoop you, you're gonna have some type of resentment towards me, and I don't want to spend my life looking around like, oh, is such and such gonna be there? I don't want no parts of that.
Exactly, and you're not gonna lose the fight, so he feel better about himself, And so this is why I feel exactly the same way, because at the end of the day, I don't know if you're gonna be mature enough to take this ass whooping.
And most aren't, especially if women are around.
Yeah. Fucking ego is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's
women, they wonder why men come at them so tough in the inbox and social media. It's because getting rejected in front of people hurts.
Triggers.
But if you jump in a girl's inbox and you just sending messages, whether she replies, ignores you, it doesn't matter because no one else knows it.
Yeah. It's like that. Yeah, for real. There's no. It's like when you are walking and you trip and fall. First thing you do is what? You look around. If no one saw it, you don't give a fuck how bad you just fell. You know what I'm saying? You're like, shit. Nobody saw it. I'm cool.
Big
but if someone saw it, you like, oh shit. I'm good. So you're right, man. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Hey, man. I feel like everything in a man's life revolves around women.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a good job so that you have money so that you can take women out on a date, you keep yourself, well groomed for women. You buy a nice car or a nice house for it, all that stuff is for women. It's not for us. Men don't really care. As you know, when a man starts over, bro, you can have a cot and a TV on the floor and your gaming system and a lawn chair and those are some of the best times.
I'm happy. I'm here.
Man.
It's peaceful.
But then you go get all the other stuff because you want it to be presentable for when you do bring a woman over.
Like I ask people all the time, I was like, you know why men built shelter? Because the coochie got wetter when it wasn't getting rained on. This is why we did it. We was trying to fuck outside. He was like, it's cold. He was like, okay, he built the fire. I'm getting wet. Okay, bitch, I built the roof. Okay, my back hurts. Okay, bitch, I built the bed.
Got you. What else do you need? Can I get it now?
Yeah. What is? That's how the world is built. But that's the importance of women as visionaries. This is why, what your women value is what's important. Like the world we have, as we know it was built according to what women valued. Because women gave men purpose. Like, this is what I need, and we did it. You know what I'm saying? But that's because women at their best are connected to God. That's because they're the creators of life. You know what I'm saying? This is why they have the vision of what we need to be comfortable. We don't have a clue what we need to be comfortable. We didn't even know we was uncomfortable till a woman let us know. Exactly. Until she pointed out. You know why your back hurt? It's because you ain't got nothing to sit on. Say word. Say word.
Like, yeah, that's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? Like, seriously, like, but that's balance at its best. You know what I'm saying? They get the vision, we are the action. It's like hardware and software. You know what
I
I'm
agree.
saying? Like for real, like men are hardware, women are software.
And
You know
to
what
a
I'm saying?
degree, I feel like men have done such a good job. I'm not saying that women haven't had some sort of a part, and some women can be hardware, but the world we've done such a good job in designing the world that now women feel as though they don't need men. But it's just like, old boy, what's his name, Andrew Tate, when he said, like, yo, soon as there ain't no road for you to drive your car on, now you want a man around. As soon as your air conditioner's broke, now you want a man to come fix it, or somebody that's qualified to come fix it.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff goes out the window. Like, you think because you can work and pay bills that you don't need a man, but that's all false.
It's almost like the more comfortable a woman becomes, the less value she sees in men.
Man, that's a bar right there. I don't know if you
Yeah,
got one of
like
the little horns.
like the more comfortable she becomes, the more conveniences she has in life. She feels she don't need it. It's like we're AI type shit. She like, and that's unfortunate because they don't really understand the true value of a man, and just like most men don't understand the true value of a woman. That door definitely swings both ways. But one of the things I want to point out, and I'm getting ready to wrap this up. One of the things I want to point out is, like, I've always said that, like, when men have a failed relationship or men are bitter with women, we say things like bitches ain't shit or that particular bitch ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
When women get disappointed by men or fed up with men, they make the blanket statements that all men ain't shit. Like, all men are this, all men are that. And a big part of that, I believe, is that every black man knows that good black women exist because we've had one in our life in some capacity.
Oh, man.
Whether it's a mom, grandma, sister, auntie, cousin, we know they exist. So we can never live in a world where we feel like there's no good black women because we don't live lies. We know they exist. But every black woman hasn't had the benefit of having a good black man in their life. When you look at numbers like 7 out of 10 black women are a victim of sexual assault before they turn 18, usually by the hands of a family member. Like, the majority of black women haven't had very good experiences with black men. So they live in a world where they don't know good men exist because since they turned 12, every man they met been trying to fuck them, and really sooner than that, and so, but what I want women to take from this is that, like, men like yourself understand it's some good women out there. We also understand we're not having the best of luck finding them, or we also understand we probably have found some in the past when we weren't ready.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And man, some of the I had a cousin. I have just a standard for women, just in general, and so, like, I've dated black women, but the majority of the women that my family have seen me with have been white women, and that's not necessarily like because it's what I like. It's because of what I grew up around as a beautiful black woman. I don't see what I grew up around. Like, all my aunts had their own hair. They didn't wear these. They didn't wear makeup. They didn't wear weave or have push-up bras, these eyelashes. So, like, I'm out here in the world looking for them, and I can't find them. And I'm looking hard. I love my black women. I love women in general, but, like, all the women that I've dated meet that criteria. Period. Even the black ones that I've dated, they meet that specific criteria because that's what I saw growing up, and that's what beauty is to me.
Nah, I'm listening, man. My dog is tripping. I don't know what he's barking
for. Oh, that's all good, man. But yeah, man, I wish they knew that we were out here, and the problem I think also is a lot of women aren't attracted to what a good man actually is. The good man he's not a dope dealer. The guy who would sell your grandma whatever it is he's selling to make $1, that's not a good dude. The guy who's lying to women and's got, you know, multiple women pregnant, this, that, and the third at the same time, that's not a good dude. Like, but they don't want to hear that. They a lot of women think that I'm the woman he's gonna change for. And it just don't happen. And then when it doesn't happen and that man moves on, now you're bitter because you're in a situation that makes it harder for you to get a good man. And one of those things that makes it hard for especially women with kids, as far as I'm concerned, you can't compete with a woman that has time on her side. If you have, you know, all these other things that you have to tend to, if a woman has time to go out on a date, if she has time to keep a clean house, not saying that it's your fault that, you know, you got 3 kids running around and, you know, they keep the house dirty and dishes, this, that. I'm not saying that's your fault. I'm saying that a woman that has time, it's hard for you to compete with that. And I think that's what a lot of women don't understand.
It's true. I mean, it's very true, man. Last chick I dated, she didn't have no kids, and that was the fun. Like, she was free all the time. When we did shit, traveled and shit, it was just us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, shit, you do a lot of fucking, it's just y'all, you know? And so, and like you said, it's not a knock against women that have children, but man, it's hard to compete with someone that has the time, because as a man, we don't have a lot of time. A man that's on his shit, for the most part, isn't going to have a lot of free time. So a woman who's available when we are available, that is a plus. That is a plus, definitely.
It'll knock a lot of people out the park. Like, now you can't even compete. You didn't make the team.
Yeah.
You know, you're vertical. You know, you can score a basket, but yo, this girl can dunk. You see her take off from the free throw line, bro? Like, what you want me to do with you? Like, you can't even make left-handed layups. Like, I'm gonna go with the chick I'm gonna go with the MVP right here. You know, that's just what it is. You know, just shit. Like, you know, as a man, you can't. If you don't have money, you can't compete with the man that's got money. So I understand why I can't compete with the dope boy. I can't take you shopping every week. I understand that, but on the back end, now the playing field's a little bit even, and we see where that got us.
Yeah,
because you know, you taking something as face value which is not really what it's worth, and you know, we got to deal with the consequences of our actions. All of us do, men and women.
That's where we are, man. That's real shit, bro. Real shit. This was fun, man. This was fun, bro. This was spontaneous. Like, this was literally 2 dudes an hour ago was like, yo, let's do something.
Man, hey, and it was organic, man. And I always love chopping it up with you. Like you said, we had a couple of conversations in the DM. The sick one. Shout out DJ, the sick one. That's our connection.
The mutual, okay.
That's how we got to know each other. But yeah, man, I always love chopping it up with you. And the thing I love about you as an individual is me and you don't have to agree for there to be mutual respect. Definitely. We can agree to disagree, and I still fuck with you, bro. We just don't disagree right here.
Yeah.
And that's hard to come by. So, like, I just wanted, from me to you, I really do appreciate that, because it's not a lot of brothers that you can run across that can generate that type of respect. So, like, hey, I appreciate you for that.
Man, hey, man, it's mutual. Honestly, bro, when we did bump heads, it was easy to be respectful because you gave me that. So it's one of those things, like, if I'm coming at you sideways, then I'm clearly wrong. So now it's not even about me having a different point of view, because I'm the only one being an asshole here. So it was really easy for me to match that with you, man. And like, it's crazy, man, because you meet people online and you feel like that you kind of know how they are, but a lot of times people aren't who they say they are. And then you actually sit down and have a conversation, and it is organic, because it's like, damn, okay, this was who I thought he was. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm talking to a total stranger, because I have been following your shit. You know, I share a lot of your shit. I steal some of your shit so I can get you shares. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
I
Like,
appreciate that. I
yeah,
appreciate that. I see it.
like
I
a
see
lot of
it.
my dope shit comes from his page because it'll be sitting on his page and people ain't fucking with it. And I'm like, watch this. Not on my page, and now you niggas mad at me when y'all should have been mad at him because it was his post, you know. But as like I said, as long as people see it and we can help people think, I think that we have the same goal. Like we want people to use social media to become better people and see things in a different way. It's not about agreeing. And a lot of times the stuff I share, it's not even how I feel. It's just a perspective that needs to be heard because other people feel that way.
Yeah,
You know,
something for us to discuss. Let's all discuss it. That's
yeah.
what I like to do. I want to hear. I don't want to hear my opinion regurgitated 100 times. I want to hear how you feel about it, especially as far as women are concerned. I want to know what y'all think, how you feel, because it makes me a better person when I there's a common denominator in what the women are saying versus what the men are saying. I can kind of meet myself in the middle and be like, okay, I understand this part and I understand this part, but the rest of it, not really. But I agree, man. I agree. It's thinking is the most important thing.
Dope, man. Well, shit, I'm extend the invitation to you, man. You got some topics and stuff you want to talk about? Hit me up. We see how easy it is. We can get on here. Like, I like to pay attention to whatever is trending. Whatever they're already talking about. It's too easy for us to hop on. And the next time, maybe we can even do it live so we can get the interaction, man. But I'm about to edit this and chop it up. And I'm gonna probably stream it sometime tonight, depending on how late it is. Yeah, it's only 8:00, man. So I'm probably stream it maybe about like 8:30, 9:00, and then I'm gonna go in the comments. So hopefully they watch. And hopefully people get something from it, man.
I hopefully they don't get too mad at me, but like that's the name of the game. Like I hope that we get some positive feedback, and shout out to you and your show. I'm rooting for you, man, because
appreciate it.
It's one of those opinions. You're somebody that just has an opinion that needs to get out there, I think.
Thank you. I've been hearing that from a lot of different people, and that's why I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to meet people where they are. I was so focused on comedy and trying to do things a certain way. But I'm like, I got to do what I feel comfortable doing and what people want me to do more of, And so I appreciate you taking the time today, man. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Anything you want to say to the people before I end it?
Anybody that listens, thank you for listening. And if you have a problem with anything I say, feel free to jump into my inbox and we can have a discussion. I would love to hear, whatever it is that you have to say, because I don't think I'm right about everything. I just think that I have an opinion.
Tell them how to find you on social media.
My name is Jamal Southpaw Bush on Facebook, and I have a podcast that I'm working on. It's got a couple episodes up. It's called If Not, Why Not? You can search that. And yeah, get at me.
Awesome, bro. Will you be safe, man? I'm going to hit the button.
All right, man. Peace.